Hello, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Gateway Podcast, coming to you from Clarksville, Tennessee, also known as the Gateway to the New South. We are proudly progressive members of the Montgomery County Democratic Party. I always get that wrong. We're here to bring hope to our community and connect progressive folk here in Montgomery County to the larger Democratic movement. My name is Rebecca Jansen. I'm the communications chair as well as the interim chair for Montgomery County Democratic Party. I'm here with Karen Reynolds, who is representing Joy Rice of Clarksville Indivisible, as well as Chaz Offerman.
Hello, hello.
Who is our former chair.
Good to be with y'all.
Yeah, it's nice to be here this evening. Thank you for inviting me.
Hi, Karen. Welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you. And it's really an honor to be here and an honor to be representing Clarksville Indivisible. I've been part of the movement since 2017, so I'm excited to talk about it.
We're excited to have you here. And you're here, as you said in the introduction, on behalf of Joy Rice.
That's right. She's currently, we're a little co-chairish. Like, she's really the face and doing most of the work. But we work together. She's got a wonderful voice and I really support her. But she could not make it tonight, so she reached out and asked if I could support her.
And you stepped in. That's
Yes,
great.
always.
Very fitting because you've been involved with Indivisible for a long time.
Yeah, so I was the original organizer of Clarksville Indivisible in 2017. We stood up under the first Trump administration to fight against the Trump agenda, and then we just kind of kept going at it, and she took over for me when I was elected to office.
Elected to office.
So, Karen, you've worn a lot of hats in your life. Tell us a little bit. I know you've been a soldier. You are a mom. You've been a candidate. You've been an elected official. Tell us about that.
So a little bit about me is I like Chaz said, I was joined the Army when I was 18, 6 days after my 18th birthday. Got on that bus, off I went. Loved every minute of it. 21 years later, 2 children and a mother in tow, I retired and moved to Clarksville.
A lot of people like to settle here.
Well, I came back for the education. The schools were great. The school sizes were good. And
No public schools.
in 2001, we had great schools and it was a great community. I've raised my 2 sons here. And after I retired, I worked at Fort Campbell at Blanchfield for another 18 years, retired again from civil service during that time. So my background is healthcare. It's always what I understand and fight for. I was Army pharmacy, and then I was healthcare IT after I retired. And so I've really watched the involvement and the disenfranchisement of not only citizens, but also soldiers and our veterans. I've watched them lose their healthcare over the last 45 years. So it's been kind of a journey. And then, being DOD, I've always been very politically active. I tell a little short story of, I was in high school and we had a debate in school, and my debate in the 70s as a teenager was that every woman should have access to abortion. And then my term paper in high school was why we should pass the Equal Rights Amendment. So I've always been about equity and equality, even when I didn't understand the whole big picture that I do now. It's just been a part of my life. But being in the military and then being part of DOD, you're always kind of like, oh, just kind of go with the flow, go vote, don't get too involved. And then Trump won. Trump won, and so.
Seminal moment for a lot of people.
Oh.
It was a wake-up call.
So I was a GS-12 at Fort Campbell, going to work every day, protesting at Marsha Blackburn's office, and then, showing up at work and get my email searched, right? So 2017 was really my comeuppance. I had already been coming to the Democratic Party for about 5 years and had really started notching it up, and that was like the silence is compliance, and I was in a space where I could stand up and fight back. And that was when Mark Green was then our state senator, and we were initially 2017 the slate of hate against the LGBTQ community. And I always like to give credit to Tennessee Equality Project, Chris Sanders. He came in and kind of transitioned us in. I read the Indivisible PDF that was put out right after the election.
It was made by some former congressional staffers about like how to engage with Congress.
Yeah. So what they wrote, they had been congressional staffers who put up with the Tea Party people.
Okay.
And the small and truly 2 or 3 very involved citizens are really what make a difference. And they bring their friends and family with them. So they had watched the Tea Party and the Tea Party tactics, and basically they taught us to turn the Tea Party tactics on
for
the
good.
Tea Party back at them.
For democracy. Yeah.
To protect democracy. So in 2017, I read their PDF, which came out online, and it basically crashed the system for a while because everybody, I downloaded it and read it. And it's kind of a little funny story. I showed up at one of the Democratic meetings and I said, has somebody read this about Indivisible? And I said, I'm having a meeting. I'm going to do an Indivisible chapter here in Clarksville. I'm having a meeting, and I set the date, and we did Lassiter's Coffee on Wilma. And 45 people showed up to that first meeting.
Wow.
45 people. I was expecting 4 or 5.
How did you get it out? Were you just putting it on Facebook? Or?
I put it a little bit on Facebook. I put it on the Democratic Facebook page, and people were frightened at the time and knew that like, what do you say? Moment. It was a moment.
Seminal moment.
Needed
to go from nothing to action.
Yeah. So, and what the original guide in the original Indivisible movement was really teaching us as citizens to stand up and contact our elected officials, use the democratic process to influence. And they did. We stopped the dismantling of the Affordable Care Act, which was, again, a healthcare piece for me. We protected the VA, which a lot of people don't understand. And just so many other equity and equality, our school system. We really kind of stopped the Trump momentum and stopped the Republican momentum for the first sessions.
The healthcare stuff is how you and I met, and I met a bunch of your friends that are all still doing stuff around town now. And we all met after because she worked in healthcare. Afton Bain, running for Congress now.
But did we? I remember we had when wonderful Juanita Charles ran against the Powers original time, and we went out to Erin, which was part of our community then, and we were standing up for healthcare in Erin at the local hospital. Yeah,
hospital was going to close.
They were going to close.
Yeah, struggling and trying to get the county to save it, and it did. The hospitals still exist out there. It's
it's still aching.
One of the smallest towns in Tennessee that still has a hospital.
Right, and so. You just, as the movement progressed, we stayed. So we've always, I think we've been like the gateway for people who want to become involved in politics. All through it taught me how to stand up and fight back, how to come. Like when I first started in Indivisible and I read the guide, I would write out everything I was going to say. Then I'd wait till Marsha Blackburn's office was closed and I'd call so I could leave a message.
Yeah.
4 weeks in, I'm like driving home, listening to NPR News, and I hear some crap and I'm like hitting the call button on my car and calling her office about what's going on here. So it really taught you how to have those conversations. And it taught you how important it was that we need a seat at the table. Protesting, standing up, holding signs, pressuring is great. But what I learned in the first couple years is a seat at the table. We needed people to run for office, and we needed in local elections from the local. I called it blue to the bone. We need to bring in progressives at the very local level and younger people and raise them up.
So is Indivisible partisan? Does it advocate for the Democratic Party?
Indivisible is not partisan. We consider ourselves nonpartisan, but we are not neutral. We are progressive. We believe that every human being matters. We believe that healthcare is a right, that equity and equality are very important in education, healthcare, our justice system, and it's missing. I mean, I could just go down that whole rabbit hole, but we believe that all human beings are equal and should have, but it doesn't mean equality does not always mean equity. And that's where politics come in. And we need that balance. So we're not going to support someone who does not support that vision.
Mm-hmm.
And we do align with the Democratic values.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't always align 100%, and we're issue based.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like about how I ran Indivisible and Joy as well, Joy Rice. We don't like, it's not a purity test. Like I am like, I will throw down over women's reproductive freedom. Like, get off my porch. We're not talking. If you don't agree with that, we're not talking.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Indivisible, that everybody who comes has to be 100% agree with everything we say. I think that our job is to, when you bring us your progressive issue, whether it's healthcare or we need a sidewalk because my kids can't get to school safely, our job is to teach you how to advocate and how to, whose job, like I would get calls about things and I would say, no, that's not a local issue. I'm going to need you to call the state office and give them the state person to contact and help them advocate for their issues. One of the things, and the recess, they are doing, where they're improving recess in the schools.
Oh, yeah, because some moms advocated for it.
Moms advocated, and they actually reached out when I was running for office, and I sat down. And even in that group, I told them, like we had the conversation of about what it looked politically like in the beginning.
Yeah.
I do not want to take any credit. I think they did wonderful. The women who ran that program ran it, but the way that they did it was they advocated for a single issue. They knew what they wanted, and they advocated nonpartisan for recess, and they made such a difference.
Yeah.
And so having those conversations, because we agree with what that issue is, we don't have to agree on everything else at the table.
Yeah.
And I think the Democratic Party is sometimes, by nature, has to, like, they're not going to go out on the road and throw up signs, and the party is not always the protest party. That's what Indivisible's for. You got an issue, let us get the community out advocating and part of that. We're the feeders into other advocates.
And the protests get a lot of attention. So the most recent one, as we're taping, that you did was for John Lewis' birthday, or the anniversaries of his passing.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was, oh my gosh, don't give me stuff. There was the biggest one in recent was on No King's Day.
Yes, that was huge. I was out of town, but that was really big. Did we have how many hundreds of people?
Over 700 people came for that.
People. That's amazing for Clarksville.
But again, and I'll tell you, Joy is the organizer, does all the work, but I made sure that I go up and down the aisle and talk to people, talk about Indivisible, talk about what's your issue, what brought you out today, and make those connections with people. We have the Voter Alliance in town that's been created since Indivisible, and I think that organizing and bringing nonpartisan groups to the table where we can consolidate our power is very important. And we're doing a great job in our community with that.
And we're doing I would say a much better job. This is a little stickier. So I apologize for not warning y'all that I would talk about this, but when you started, and this is something that I've always greatly respected, and I do want to apologize on behalf of the Democratic Party, is there were leaders of this party who saw Indivisible as a threat, and you had to navigate that, and you had to go out there and keep doing the work despite folks thinking that you were a competitor. And so I say all that because we've gotten better, and it seems like we all kind of understand now, the Democratic Party's role is this, Indivisible's role is this, the Voter Alliance's role is that. Even though we're not connected, we all are in the space helping each other when it makes sense, and then staying in our lanes when it makes sense. So sorry, but also thank you. And like, how what was it like being on the other side of that?
Well, I mean, you just had to, I will tell people that I stood up as a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I was standing up. I have 2 Hispanic children, 2 Mexican children to be exact, and one of them is gay. I mean, this is a hill I will die on over and over again. Before they go, I'm going first. And so I knew who I was. I knew I was a good Democrat. You look at my voting, I'm a super voter. I'm a Democrat super voter. And I had been in the party for much longer than most of the people who were complaining that I was like stealing the thunder or taking away. But I just continue to navigate that. we're not a contestant for anything.
No, there's
the very people sitting in your office want to come out and protest.
Yeah.
But it's not for the party to organize the protest. I mean, the party has their job to get people elected, to fundraise and help the party and fill seats. That's like their job. Our job is to continue to show you why you should vote for a Democrat and to continue to talk about the issues and lead the protests. We're all so intersectional.
Yeah.
The volunteers showing up in the 2018 and 2020 elections for the Democratic Party were honestly mostly individuals from Indivisible.
Yeah.
Because we taught them how important elections were and how you needed to show up and support people to win.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's exactly right. I appreciate you being one of the mothers of the movement here in Montgomery County. And I know you've had to get thick skin through that. So thank you.
Yeah, it's come a long way. So you were part of Indivisible in Clarksville at the beginning. And then after a while, you decided to run for election yourself. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So, you're supporting and you're fighting these people for making bad decisions and for taking votes that are representing you. And eventually, you realize that you need a seat at the table, that you have to take the seats. You're not going to be able to make a change from the outside because someone at the table has to write the legislation. Someone at the table has to bring in the community.
Yeah.
And so...
Was there something specific to city government versus the other things you could run for?
Well, when I ran for city council, I was still a DOD employee. I was still employed by Department of Defense, and so I could only run for a nonpartisan seat.
Yeah.
And my seat opened. As anybody who's going to run for office, you need to have your list, watch your list, and find your opportunity.
And so for our listeners who are either soldiers, DOD, or contractors, what are the kind of 3 levels to running what they can and can't do and run for?
Well, you have to pay attention to the Hatch Act.
Okay.
The Hatch Act is and it has to be. So I was running, I had to run nonpartisan. I'm not sure for contractors. The rules are a little different for contractors.
Yeah.
And soldiers, reservists, I think probably follow what I had to follow but I'm not positive. So I knew that Hatch Act because I was called on the carpet when I first pulled my papers.
Wow.
At the, there was from the top down, what is she doing? Well, there was already people watching me because I was making noise. So top down, and I had my Hatch Act, and as they would come at me,
Karen brings the receipts.
He does.
And so, and honestly, the hospital lawyer I had to educate.
Wow, of course.
Yeah. What?
You would though.
But there was a Republican doctor who pulled a ticket to run for the county, and he had to remove his name from the list because that was a partisan seat and he could not.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm glad that was enforced.
Yes. So, so I decided that, and that was my opportunity for city council. And I had already worked on campaigns. I ran when Jason Hodges ran, and then when Justin Camus ran, and when Juanita, we just kept getting smarter and learning. I often said when I ran for office, if I knew all the pieces about running for office when Juanita Charles ran for office, she would be Senator Charles.
Yes.
I mean, because we
could have a dream team now for that race.
She was she was a beautiful candidate.
Yeah.
But we were all just kind of learning it and making it up as we go. And so I just remember her so vividly, at the Aaron Day Parade.
Mm-hmm.
She's breastfeeding her baby, then pops out of the car and starts marching. It's like, what a wonderful person.
That
energy and that commitment. And it's the same. She was running. She was a veteran. We're all veterans, and we believe in democracy. And that's kind of what's changed when I was running Indivisible, or the organizer of Indivisible. We were we were fighting for issues. We were protecting the Affordable Care Act. We were protecting women's rights and things like that, and equity and equality. Now, 2025, we're the line of defense to protect our democracy.
Yeah.
Is gone.
The stakes are higher.
The stakes are so much higher and so much harder. Joy, after I was elected, so I ran and I got to the table. And so as a city council person, much to the dismay, I was the gateway to bring, people to the table. I was on the tree board and we created the sustainability board. And
they created the tree board while you were there.
The tree board was there, but the sustainability board.
Oh, wow. Okay. The sustainability. Okay.
So this was 2020 to 2024, right?
Between 2020 and 2024. And so then I was the gateway for the people to come in and really start trying to rewrite some of our city ordinances.
Yeah.
My fight was a sidewalk ordinance fight.
Yeah.
And it failed.
Which you think would be so easy to do and everybody's on board and everyone's talking about sidewalks. And then
I rewrite the ordinance. I do a vast amount of homework, and even the mayor votes against it.
All hell broke loose, right? Like they were throwing everything they could at you to stop it.
Yeah.
But
why? Sidewalks would be a good thing.
But what happens, and this is important to remember, after I left, they brought the sidewalk ordinance back up, and all the people who were against it took all my work and took all the credit, as every woman in America knows, and they passed the sidewalk ordinance.
Yeah, we do have a lot of beautiful sidewalks.
Well, no, they created it. Now they're required. They did update the sidewalk ordinance, but not until I left.
But not until after you left.
Yes.
Very interesting.
So but that is how the democracy works. And of course, that's how it works for women.
And why we need more good people on city council, if you've ever thought about running, the people on city council are not the brightest. They're not the best in our city. And we've got to do better.
Yeah. And there's some really wicked people.
Yeah.
For lack of a better.
Like Travis Holloman?
Yeah, some very evil.
He's on meth, I think, but he's a mess. Allegedly.
Not go that far, but he's definitely he looks like he could use a shower most days.
What is really the issue is the mayor allowed him to sit and use public time and taxpayer time
to go on that round,
to go against a portion of our community, go against and really attack and endanger our LGBTQ community.
Yeah. So for people who maybe don't know, can you explain what he did?
So he, on several instances, used city council time to give very far right. I don't. What's the word?
Almost like a.
It was also like a PowerPoint. LGBT is demonic and just like all kind of nutso stuff.
And they let him go on that rant because they said it was his First Amendment.
Not only that, and I'm still mad about this. Our mayor scolded Karen for responding to it.
Yeah.
And was like, no, don't get personal. When he's like being personal to all of us that are LGBT.
Yeah. Oh, it was, and women. So, voices matter, standing up matter. And again, that's as a mom and as someone who just believes that equity, equality is but it's important. People have to stand up and run. People need to work in campaigns. And if you can't do anything else, I continue to tell people $50 donation in a city council race for a city council person makes a huge difference in a campaign.
5 yard signs.
5 yard signs, right. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, Chaz, is, the civic training that you and I think it was the Voter Alliance who created that. And I know that Joy had a big piece of that. And that is really teaching our citizens, again, how important the different levels of government are. And why don't you? I'd like to.
I think the civic trainings we're doing was born out of these moments of going down to City Hall and trying to rage against Travis Holloman, is we realized that we all needed to know more about, I call them the three governing bodies of the county: the city council, county commission, the school board. And so we've got this coalition now that we were talking about earlier of different organizations that do different things. And so we all bring different strengths to the table. And just like me as the Clarksville Q leader and Indivisible showed up to go after Travis Holloman, we're now taking that into training. So like me as Clarksville Q and then Monica Meeks as SOCOM, we do a county commission training where we teach you about the history of county commission, how county government works, especially how they budget. And then Joy from Indivisible, I think, leads the city council one.
Yes.
And then Richie Patton and maybe Monica as well does the school board one from the SOCOM angle,
I think
Public School Strong. Lee Ellen.
Right.
Yes, Lee Ellen does that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's helping y'all figure out how do you want to engage in your government, whether it's running, whether it's giving public comment like we did against Travis Holloman, or it's supporting someone who is running.
I would like to add a little bit as a as someone who isn't elected, and one of the teachings of Indivisible. What I read, if I as a city council person got 4 or 5 emails or people showed up and spoke at the council, it made a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
County commission is fairly equivalent to that. State, if they get 10 or 15 emails, they're going to start paying attention or phone calls, and then it goes up to the federal level. They make a difference. We were literally able to stop the dismantling of, the national health care because of the work of Indivisible. Mm-hmm. And I would say Indivisible and them teaching us how important it is to get out and get people elected are I wouldn't say that they're the sole people that flipped the 2018 seats, but they are the ones who pushed us out into the organizations to go help get elected to flip the House. And so that's very important. So people think that it doesn't matter. I could tell you, being in those circles, your voice matters, your calls matter. And at every level of government, when you advocate for something that's important to you, you do not have to be the smartest person in the room, but your voice matters and it makes a difference.
Right. And your vote matters as well.
Oh my God.
Because we've talked a lot about this, but Montgomery County, Tennessee has one of the lowest voter turnouts in the nation. And it's something we'll talk about later. You've got some words on
to bridge what you're talking about to voting. It's I mean, the ultimate ask, I think, of any org is how to get involved. So how do you go from sending an email to a council member or attending an Indivisible protest to actually joining one of these orgs? What are the ways and steps they can take to join?
So that's one of the things that I'm really proud about, we started in Indivisible and Joy has just really refined and made magic, is I like to think that we are the gateway. When you're not sure how things work or you're not sure what you want to do, we have meetings. We have guest speakers. We are issue oriented. We are not, again, purity like we try to do, women's health and partner with Ruth's Army. We partner with the Democratic Party, but we also partner with Equity Alliance and voter turnout and sidewalks and trees and Sierra Club. Sierra Club is the expert in the room.
Yeah.
But when they're having an event or when they need volunteers, many of our groups really believe in protecting the environment. Mm-hmm. So if you come up and you say, I really want to, I really want to like pick up trash and I really want to talk about the environment, we're going to say, well, let me give you Joanne McIntosh's phone number in the next meeting. And so that's our gateway. Like we're kind of, sometimes you stay, sometimes you end up over at one of these other groups because we really want to promote citizen involvement in what right looks like for you. And our job is to help you. One of the things that I learned as a city council person is I got a call from a daycare center. They had changed over how they were billing for the low income, and this daycare center had gotten paid. Now, that's not my job, but they knew me, and they had talked to me while I was campaigning, so they called me, and it's like, okay, so I got in touch with our state reps, and it was a nonpartisan issue, so I got all 3 of them. I knew whose district it was, and actually, it was because I just kept kind of poking a little bit. Where are we at? What are we doing as a city council person? Again, as a nonpartisan, her issue was taken care of much faster. Yeah. And she actually got it was a warm handoff to the next level and an education. Yeah. Like, because when she said, they were going to call the county. No, this isn't a county. Let me help you. And I didn't have to do, but that's why you need to elect people who care and who can coordinate and make phone calls. And
because it's complicated navigating all the different levels of government.
But I only knew all these pieces partly because of Indivisible, because of the Indivisible guide, and they taught us the different levels of government. And that's why your civic training is so important.
Yeah, it ties together. It's like helping you see who's in charge of what.
But you do have actually meetings for Clarksville Indivisible, right?
I'm sorry.
Do you have meetings?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we, no. Just like so we.
Or is it the beer?
No, shut up. No. So Indivisible meets on the third Wednesday, and our next meeting is next week at 6 p.m. at the library. We usually have snacks, so come on in, have a drink. We'll have regular, like some water and some snacks. And our next event that we're planning is we are working on the rally for Labor Day. We're going to have a protest. The theme is workers over billionaires. So one of the things Indivisible has done at the national and all the way down is, again, we've partnered with the 50-51 movement, which is 50 states, 50, what is it? Joy told me. I'm sorry, Joy, give me.
Is it 50 cities, 50 protests, or?
One movement, one day of protest, 50 cities, 50 states.
Okay.
And so we're kind of following their calls to action, and Indivisible kind of, again, collaborated and connected with them. And so we're all moving. So their theme for that weekend is workers over billionaires.
Yeah. Right. And it seems to be working, because we talked about the No Kings protest where we had 700 people in Clarksville.
Right.
But nationwide, there was millions, right?
Yes. More people are standing
around the world as well, not just,
around the, and again, this is making an impact. It is why they are getting their little ICE army together, because they know that we're not going to be controlled very easily.
But 50-51, are they the organization that believes that it's something like 3.5% of the population? If they're engaged, then you can make change happen.
3.5% of the population. If 3.5 pushes back, and that's what happened, honestly, with the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
There was a huge pushback. So I asked people, what's your line? What's your line in the sand to get you up and get you out there? What's your issue? And when will you become involved? And when is enough? And in our community, for 50% of our community is, when will you stand up and vote for your own best interest and for the community?
Yeah, that's like the big pressing question.
It is, yeah. If we knew that, we'd all be elected, right? Yes. But we can do it. We're getting there. I mean, we made gains in the election last year. We didn't overall win our elections for the most part, but we made gains as to compared to the election before.
Yep.
So it's gone in the right direction. We just need to reach more people. But I think having organizations like Clarksville Indivisible and the Voter Alliance and NAACP, all the partner organizations working together on one project, that really gets attention.
We've gotten stronger every cycle.
Yeah. Yes.
Like when I got involved in 2017, we had a county party that was fighting most of the time, and Indivisible, and then NAACP. And then every cycle we've added more, and Sierra Club, in my experience, has gotten more involved and engaged in policies we've gone. So now we've got like 7 or 8 organizations in the county. Manifest Magic, Juanita didn't stop fighting. That's the other thing, is Juanita ran for state senate. She unfortunately lost, and then she built Manifest Magic. And so I think what we've learned is that when we have an inspirational woman run for office and not win, that we still need them on the field with us fighting. And so we know you're doing that, Karen. We're really thankful for that.
Yep. I'm still fighting it Indivisible. They stay around. Well, do we want to do soapboxes?
I think so.
Oh, okay. So our soapbox moment. This is where we're going to give you some time to just really rant about something that's really pissing you off. So what have you chosen as your issue that you would like to rant about?
And I get to swear, right?
You get to say whatever you want.
I'm not going to say one. F1.
One.
Yeah,
F1.
F1.
One. You can say all the others as much as you want.
Just say PG-13, family friendly.
So vote.
Yes.
Please get up off your ass and vote in this community. We in Indivisible, I mean, that has been like the center of everything that we've been doing in Indivisible is voter turnout. We have had, I don't care we have had great people stand up and run for office in this community, people who care, people who really just want to make a difference. We cannot get to the table if you don't even have enough respect to get up and vote. We're not, I mean, if there are so many different opportunities, but really it starts with giving a crap and voting.
Because it hurts when you put it all into a race and then
people don't show up. And I'm just gonna say,
Ozzy's pissed about it too.
Yeah. So, we had a race where Christine McKinney ran. We knocked over 1,000 doors.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 strong Dem doors. This was a Democratic area in Clarksville, Montgomery County. We knocked doors. We mailed. We made phone calls. And only 300 and some people showed up to vote. She lost that race by 17 votes.
That's incredible.
It was a heartbreaker.
Was that a midterm election?
That was the county commission election of
August 22.
And as a reminder, every county commission and the mayor are up for a vote in 2026.
2026.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about schools and the school board is open. The county commission is a purse strings. Our schools are getting defunded and dismantled. So where do you want your county tax dollars to go? Do you want them to go to another parking lot or to another giveaway to a corporation? Or do you want us to go in and fund our schools now?
Yeah.
We've got some hard decisions and we're going to need courageous people who care about the community at the city, the county, and the state level. Mm-hmm. And honestly, Clarksville, Montgomery County, you guys aren't getting it done. You're not voting. Mm-hmm. There was an article in 2018 during the election that the literal quote was, "We are the lowest voter turnout in a state with the lowest voter turnout in the nation with the lowest voter turnout." And that is a direct quote. We can do better. Yeah. And we need you to show up. We need you to register to vote. We need you to take your friends to vote. Nobody can convince someone to vote than the person who calls the people in their own phone. Yes. As a candidate, we made a lot of phone calls, but it's really the personal connections. If you're a super voter, I need you to create 2 more. I need you to get them to the polls. I need you to get them, educate them, tell them elections coming up. And I'm personally, here's my rant. I'm personally tired of people going, "Oh, but I didn't like Kamala because she didn't do this, and I didn't like Hillary because she didn't do this." We all know that half America didn't like them because they were women. And we all know that you didn't go to vote because you didn't want to vote for a woman. But here we are. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what you got on the line. If you want health care, if you want access, if you want them to stop medically murdering the women in the maternity beds in the state of Tennessee, I need you to go vote in your own best interest.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah. Karen is mad.
The only way out of this is for America to get up and give a shit.
Yeah.
We got to start giving a shit.
And it starts at the polls.
Yeah. So we actually have a special election coming up this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people may not know that there's a special election, but there is. So that is important to check your voter registration. It's important to go out to a early vote or vote on election day for the primary election and then also in the general election, right?
Can I add, Go Vote TN is the state election commission app you can download on your computer or on your phone.
On your phone. I have it on my phone.
You can register to vote. You can update your registration, and you can see your ballot, and it'll tell you where to go vote and when. Go Vote TN. I've registered people to vote at a grocery store and a yard sale. My favorite thing to do is yard sales.
Yard sales. That's a good one. So why should people in Montgomery County vote in the special election?
Oh my gosh. Because do you care about education? Do you care about healthcare?
Mm-hmm. So what's at stake here in the special election is a seat in Congress, right?
Yes.
The United States Congress. So right now, the Republicans have a very slim majority in the Congress. So if we can flip the seat, oh my goodness, that narrows the gap.
And on all the issues Karen's talking about, when it comes to healthcare, they have already passed a bill to defund Medicaid. It's TennCare. It's literally TennCare. And they're defunding it. We have to take back the House to stop that. Education. They're destroying the Department of Education. It's terrible. They're literally going to shut it down. No more Department of Education. Yeah. So lots of stuff is stacked on here that is on this race. All the bad stuff I just told you passed by what, one vote?
Yes, it was Mark Green's vote, probably.
So we can replace that with a good vote. We can stop this shit.
We can stop, a lot of the horrible, awful stuff that's happening.
But we can also show the nation that we care. We can show the Republican Party, who this is not a Trumpism. This is the Republican Party who have ran for decades to defund our health care and to defund Medicare and Medicaid. And as Chaz said, TennCare. If you know anyone on TennCare, you are on Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
40 to 50% of all pregnancies, babies are delivered on Medicare or TennCare. Women don't have health care unless it's TennCare. We have the highest infant and maternal mortality rate of the nation because we have the lowest amount of people that have insurance. Go out and vote. Your vote can make a difference and change that.
It absolutely can.
What are the election dates? Do you guys know them?
Oh my gosh.
I believe it's hang on. September 8th is the deadline to
December 2nd is the general.
Yeah,
right?
But it's on our website, right? It's on the Montgomery County website. It's on our webpage.
Thank you for calling that up.
And we will drop it into the comments.
And it'll probably be right here, right?
Yeah.
The actual website.
We do have a page. It's mctndp.org/candidates that has information about the candidates, the Democratic candidates who are running, as well as the dates for deadline to register to vote, deadline to get a mail-in ballot, and also the early voting dates and the actual election dates as well for the primary and the general, because there's two separate things. So there'll be 4 candidates running, and they are all very excellent candidates.
Yes.
4 candidates running in the primary. And then there'll just be one Democrat running in the general election in December.
Do I get to say I'm an Afton Bain Indivisible girl because she was one of the original organizers for Indivisible?
We have to be impartial, but you don't.
She was organizing with Indivisible in 2017 with us.
Oh, good.
Yes. Yeah. So we watched her grow up. And she's a social worker and understands healthcare.
Right. She really does, Jim.
So, but they're all great candidates.
They are. We have some really amazing candidates. So
do your homework and let's show the nation and let's show the Republican Party and all of the people that don't respect humanity that we care and it's time for a change.
Yeah.
It indeed is. Well, thank you very much for being here today. We've been a really good chat.
Yes.
Yeah. And the next Indivisible meeting will be October 15th.
No.
Yeah. After the airs.
After we.
Sorry. Yes, we record in August, but it will actually be September when it comes.
And there will be information here, right? Have we already done that for Indivisible?
For Indivisible, we have not. So Indivisible information
somewhere.
We
could put it up here. We could put it anywhere.
Where? Oh, this camera.
Oh, over there. Okay.
Looking in the wrong camera. All right. So as I said, thanks for joining us today. If anybody out there watching has any questions about anything that we've been discussing, you can email us at officers@mctndp.org. I should know how to say that by now. We'll put it here. officers@mctndp.org. Or you can call our office. We have answering machine if nobody's here, but we also have volunteers who answer the phone. The phone number is 931-919-4844.
And comment on this.
Yeah.
I'm a nosy bitch. I want to see what you have to say. And I read them. So put a comment on there.
Yes. All right. And also because it's YouTube, make sure to like and follow and subscribe. And come to one of our meetings soon. All the information's on our website.
And we hope to see you at the next Indivisible meeting.
That's right.